move along now. To our main event, and you got a good look here at Marlon Aguilar. Aguilar, as we said, 23 years of age, has been in there with some very good opponents. Was in there, as Rich mentioned, with Johnny Gonzalez, Ponce de Leon, Oscar Larios. But maybe one of those guys who can get to the doorstep just can't get through the door, and he'll try to do that tonight. And what certainly would be by far his most impressive win if he can handle the champion, Miguel Vazquez. Easier said than done.
Well, it's just that Miguel Vazquez has just improved so much, and he's become such a fine fighter. You know, Miguel Vazquez, as we take a look at La Rata, and that is Marlon Aguilar, as you take a look at Aguilar, getting back to Vazquez, he's just one of these guys who's come kind of late to the ball, and has just, with each fight, since that Breedis-Prescott fight, just taken big, big steps up. And there he is.
Looking more and more the part of the champion also. Interesting entourage that he brings.
Gotta love the band.
Got to. Meantime, Aguilar will just be made to think about what awaits him. And here is Titere, Miguel Vazquez. Titere, incidentally, means puppet.
His only losses to Saul Canelo Alvarez and Timothy Bradley.
And here is Lupe Contreras.
Este es el combate estelar de esta noche. This is the main event of the evening, being brought to you by, presentado por Bob Arum's Top Rank Incorporated, junto con Promociones Sanfer y Tecate, patrocinador oficial. Un duelo no titular pactado a 10 vueltas en la categoría peso ligero. This is a 10-round non-title bout in the lightweight division. Los jueces son, the judges are, Marco Antonio Rodríguez, Isaac Prado y la profesora Emilia Salgado. El tercero sobre la superficie, Laurentino Ramírez Oropesa. Y ahora, damas y caballeros, desde Toluca, Estado de México, veremos quién es el más macho. Presentando la esquina azul, introducing the blue corner, vestido de Nicoya azul y blanco, he steps in wearing Nicoya blue and white, his official weight, 135 pounds, su peso oficial, 135 libras, a nivel profesional, mantiene un récord de 25 victorias, con 10 derrotas, un empate y 18 de sus victorias por la vía del knockout as a professional. He enters the ring with 25 victories, against 10 losses, 1 draw, and 18 of his victories coming by way of knockout. De Managua, Nicaragua, Marlon, La Rata Aguilar. Y en la esquina roja, in the red corner, vestido de pantalonetas blancas con color negro, he steps in wearing white trimmed in black, his official weight, 135 pounds, su peso oficial, 135 libras. A nivel profesional, mantiene un récord de 28 peleas ganadas, con solo 3 perdidas y 12 de sus victorias por la vía del knockout. He enters the ring with 28 victories against 3 losses and 12 of his victories coming by way of knockout. El actual campeón mundial peso ligero de la FIB, the reigning IBF lightweight champion of the world, de Guadalajara, Jalisco, Miguel Títere Vázquez.
la nuca, la espalda y los riñones de abajo del cinturón. A la voz de fuera se separa sin tirar golpes. Hay que tener mucho cuidado con la cabeza. Salúdense, que gane el mejor.
And with that, the band will take its seat, and we'll be underway.
I want a little more of those bands at these fights. I love that right after the intro. Yeah, come on, that's good. All right, you're taking a look at Marlon Aguilar. You'll see when he comes out. He's a stand-up fighter, boxes at long range, has a very good jab. He'll switch up at times from righty to lefty. That's what he does that in there, so don't be surprised by it. He will have to face the task that has faced so many recently against Miguel Vazquez of simply landing a glove on the guy.
Not an easy thing to do against Vazquez. And here we go, round one. This is a 10-round fight. It is a non-title fight.
Vazquez will get up on those toes. He'll move to his left. He'll move to his right as well. He'll shoot angles at Aguilar. Throws a jab. He gives you a lot of different looks. Just very hard to hit. And usually, Barry, the fights that we've seen, he's one of these guys that just gets better with each succeeding round.
You saw his knockout record. He just has 12 knockouts. Not a guy who's intent on getting you out of there. Certainly not a guy who's going to get you out of there with one punch. But he does wear you out.
He won the title last year right here on our Top Rank Live series with a very memorable, unanimous decision victory over Ji-Hoon Kim, who had come into the ring with a big winning streak and a big knockout record, and basically he just won every round from Kim, made him look ridiculous at times. You saw the tape of his fight with Dominguez, another big victory, and Barry, the fight that we were at when he fought on the Miguel Cotto-Ricardo Mayorga card when he defeated Lenny Zapavenia in Las Vegas. So this is a guy that stays active, stays in the ring, and if he doesn't have a title defense like tonight, he just wants to still get in there and fight.
Yeah, he wants to stay sharp, and you got to admire that. Talks about himself, says, I like to stay on my toes. I'm always on my toes. I never want to give my opponent a solid target. Uses both hands. He's a complete boxer. And Aguilar, on the other hand, he had an undefeated 2010. He won all 4 of his fights in 2010. Then he stepped up earlier this year in March. Fought for the WBA Latin America title against Sergio Torres and lost 11 rounds. It's the first round of a 10-round fight.
Vazquez first surprised everybody, Barry, when he fought Britas Prescott, who of course was coming off his spectacular one-round knockout of Amir Khan, the only man to beat Khan, got him out of there and won. And Vazquez actually got knocked down early and then started to come on and just basically took control of the fight and won it going away. And since then he's barely lost a round.
Yeah, he keeps the pressure on. Great movement. It's a perfect example of a Vazquez round. Just does enough, just gets done, and wins the round. That simple. Welcome back. This is round 2.
Vazquez, it appears to me, Barry, just coming out, and again, this is, I guess people would call it a stay busy fight or a tune-up fight, and that's basically what he's looking to do, just get in there and match his skills against another opponent, but he is being mentioned now as possible opponents for some of these other belt holders, in the lightweight division's a good one, Barry. There's a lot of great champions. You mentioned Brandon Rios earlier, and of course these are fighters that would provide interesting kinds of stylistic matchups as we see Vazquez really start to take control now in this fight.
Good right hand right there by Vazquez. And again, Vazquez doesn't waste any punches, sorry, Rich. Down goes Aguilar. He's in trouble.
Man, he gets up very slow, and this referee is thinking about calling the fight right here.
As well he should.
Vazquez, of course, is not known as a puncher, but he's coming out punching tonight feeling he's got an overmatched opponent now. And after round number 1, in which he basically just got in there to stay sharp, he has come out and he's just blowing away Marlon Aguilar.
And here's the second knockdown, and this is not destined to go much longer, I don't believe. Still a long way to go here in the second round for Aguilar. That's it, it's over.
Aguilar, it seems to me, knows that he's overmatched. Gives no protest to the fight being stopped. And that is it. Miguel Titere Vazquez. Titere meaning puppet. I was just starting to talk about some of the other names in the lightweight division. This is an unusual victory for him, Barry, because he is not a puncher. And you know, the other fighters in the lightweight division that are holding belts, like Robert Guerrero and Humberto Soto and Brandon Rios, Juan Manuel Marquez, and guys who are not belt holders right now, but are fine fighters like Mike Alvarado, who's on the way up, and Marco Antonio Barrera still wants another title shot. Michael Katsides maybe. I would like to see Vazquez against any of those opponents, and I feel that he would be competitive against any of those opponents.
Yeah, I agree with you. That was a great left hand. He turned that. I mean, that was a punch of a puncher, not a boxer.
It was a terrific shot. That was a clean shot. You'll see it go right underneath the outstretched glove. Beautiful left hand. And we've called Vazquez's fights, as we mentioned, since he won his title the last 3 fights. He hadn't scored a knockdown in any of those, but he certainly did tonight. And I think Aguilar went down of his own volition right there, Barry, and seemed to have a look on his face, a little bit of fear that, hey, I'm in over my head on this one.
I don't think there's any question about it. You can see the reddening under the eye, under the right eye of Aguilar also, and that was only going to get worse. So I think in this case, whereas we criticized the first fight for a little bit premature stoppage, we thought not so in this one. And again, a dominant performance by a guy who's becoming a dominant fighter.
Well, to me, it was the fighter himself, basically, who resigned by going down without getting hit a solid blow, and I think he gave us the requisite body language to know what should happen.
Yeah, exactly. Let's go to Lupe, make it official.
De 1 minuto, 46 segundos del segundo asalto. Ladies and gentlemen, this bout ends with an official time of 1 minute 46 seconds of round number 2. Your winner, by way of knockout, el vencedor por knockout, Miguel Títere Vázquez.
So Títere Vázquez does what he has been doing and comes up with an easy win in a tune-up fight, and I would have to think what's next for him is another title defense.
Against any of those guys, I would love to see him in some kind of unification title fight, but if not, the others that I mentioned, like Marco Antonio Barrera, who's made some noise about possibly fighting Miguel Vazquez, that would be a nice matchup as well.
So